How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Games Over Explained. Before we get too deep into this episode, I do want to take a minute to review some of the things that we have done off screen, as well as our live stream. If you haven't seen the live stream yet, I have converted that to a VOD. I edited out some of the more boring bits and put it in our Going Medieval playlist, which you can find a link to in the description. So now for the big reveal, we have a wall, a really impressive, very time-consuming wall that took quite a while to build. The live stream was about 3.5 hours, and I had to spend maybe 4.5, 5 hours off camera doing some of the additional work, so in total, it took quite a lot of time, but I think it paid off. It looks fantastic, and it works very well. So, one of our first things on our agenda today that I want to do is finish this gate. So let's go ahead and get that started. This is going to be an episode where we are going to be doing a lot of cleanup. There's a lot of items that I've noticed, especially from playing off screen for quite a while, that really just need some time and attention for us to address. So what we're going to do here is I want to drop in these stairs first. We're just going to follow the same method that we've been following this entire time in terms of building our towers. We're going to zoom in real quick because I do want to try and match this up as best I can. So it looks like, well, I think the smart way to do this would be on this side to have it go up like so, and on this side have it go up like so. And then we'll grab our floor here and we'll back it up just a little bit. And what I want to do now is drag this across and make sure that we have our floor in place. We're also going to need to seal up this wall here because, as you can see, it does have a double entry now. So we're going to want to address that very quickly. And the best way that I think we can do this is put in some windows like this. And let's grab our limestone block window. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it right there. Oh, there we go. All right, so we're going to drop it in right there. That is going to allow our archers to be able to fire in. So when they break down these doors, they are going to get stuck having to break down these doors, which means we'll be able to fire in from here. The only disadvantage of the wall design really is that we can't fire from above, and so this is an easy way to resolve that. So it does look like we're potentially getting a new settler. Let's take a look at what they have to offer. So it looks like they are Marksman 12, Melee 13. We don't really have a reason to not accept new settlers at this point, so let's go ahead and welcome them. Speaking of settlers, this is a good time to cover that we do have a few additions to the settlement of Wythenshawe, and their names are Theberga, Theberga, and Bernston. I also acquired a third settler, though unfortunately that settler has made a permanent residence in the lawn. Unfortunately, Dudok was not long for Wythenshawe and was tragically lost in a raid that I had to deal with when we were off camera, so that has been dealt with. The next thing we need to do here is once they finish this up, I'll go ahead and give them a second to get that wrapped. We'll just keep building these towers up. I just want to make sure that you guys got to see the final piece of our development here. That way not all of the work that was done off camera. Another thing that's worth highlighting that I got to play on when we were off camera is the sheer amount of mining that it took for us to be able to actually get this done. It was insane. You can see scars all over the place from where we have mined out more and more limestone. I did everything I could to keep pulling it. I just wanted rocks, but I kept finding gold, which seems like something I shouldn't complain about, but I'm going to because it took me forever to acquire all the limestone I needed. Another thing that took quite a while is laying out this clay here. You may notice that this configuration is a little different than maybe when you last saw it. That's because, frankly, after looking at this and trying different methods of building out the wall, it just seemed like a fool's errand to try and continue to get this curve going. So what I ultimately decided was squaring off the tower would look good. It also affords us the opportunity in the future, if we wanted to make this gate more significant, to be able to close this off. Though that's not really something that we're going to do immediately. It's just kind of a, we might do it, we might not kind of thing. So it looks like they've made tremendous progress already. As you can see, our limestone brick is out of the world right now. We've done a very good job of making sure that we always have enough to complete our projects, so we should be able to fly through this portion pretty quickly. Let me go ahead and get some work done on this, and then you can see the final product. All right, so as usual, I was like, oh yeah, super confident, no problem. We have enough limestone brick. We had over 2,000, no way, right? Well, we don't. It looks like we're not gonna be able to actually finish it. So what I am gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna pop over here. I need to pull my roof off real quick, and I am going to add a few more to production. I don't think it should be too much, but I do think it is going to be necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and let them get that done. And then worst case scenario, if we need to extract some more, we know where we can get it pretty easily. So we'll just pop over here and grab some more. Okay, and it looks like we're going to actually get an opportunity to test out this new wall here, because of course we have a raid, and it looks like they didn't bring any trebuchets, which is great. Though I can tell you that this wall is officially trebuchet tested, because I had quite a fun run-in with some trebuchets off camera. So let's go ahead and get this started here. This is not the greatest time. If you'll notice, we're low on weapons. That was on the to-do list today. So hopefully we are going to rely on the wall to keep people out, because we're going to have a heck of a time trying to get this done without having any weapons available to us. I can try and order a couple of these guys. I don't know if they have any requirements for wielding them, but I am going to go ahead and order some. We have tons of iron, and again, part of the to-do list today was to get some more weapons. We've not done well. If you notice, we have a hole in our main campus. That did happen during the live stream, also on the to-do list, but part of the issue with it is that we now have weapons that are exposed. And so for us to be able to protect these weapons better, we are going to have to rebuild this. But in the meantime, some of them are deteriorating because they are sitting out in the open, and so it's kind of a pretty big issue for us to be experiencing right now. So hopefully the enemies are not going to be able to get through. We do have lots of traps out, and they are going to be forced to come across here, though I don't even know if we have any archers available. So we really are going to be relying on the wall being able to keep them out and or run them off. So it looks like they are trying to path. It's going to probably take them a while to get around, so let's go ahead and jump to that. And I thought about it, and something else we can go ahead and do is put down some traps right here inside the door. We're going to do metal traps because they are a little nicer, and that should provide us an opportunity to keep some of these guys out. Hopefully we won't need it. Hopefully they won't come into Wythenshawe and they'll get stopped out here, but we'll just have to figure it out and see what happens. We do see here that he's already been stopped. Everyone is sleeping, so hopefully they'll be able to sleep for a minute, and then maybe I can call some of them out to work on the traps that we just placed. I think that'll probably be the best way that we can approach this right now. So let me... Yep, all right, so they're already done. Excellent. See, that's why I love walls, because why would you want to fight? You know, we have a pretty sweet situation here. The wall just stops them. Look at him trailing off with blood behind him. And off he goes. He's just bleeding out, wandering around. I wonder if he'll actually die. I don't think they bleed out. I don't think that's a thing. It only affects us, unfortunately. But that was pretty good. So now you guys know some of the other items on our agenda today. Part of it is creating more weapons. We definitely need weapons because if you look, it's not good. We are going to need to build a Boyer's table too. So let's go ahead and throw that on the list of things to do because it's going to be pretty important. We can go ahead and... Can workshops share a room? I believe they can. Let's look at that real quick. Let's look at rooms detected, and then this is a workshop. Cannot have any other workstations. Okay, so not going to be possible, but we can shove a Boyer's table in here, and that should serve our purposes just fine. And the Boyer's table is going to allow us to create more of the ranged weapons, which we are going to need because we don't currently have any. So I'm going to let them go ahead and try and finish this up, and then we'll move on. And our gate is done. You'll notice that it is a little taller than the other towers. I did that for the purposes of making sure that you could signify that that is the front entrance to Wythenshawe. It doesn't actually matter in terms of game context, but I really wanted it to look impressive visually and just command your attention where it's, wow, this is the entrance. It is unfortunate that we have our pit right here in front of the entrance to our settlement, but that's okay. We will work that out. So let's go ahead and move on with our plans. The next major thing we need to do is, Humphrey is unconscious because I had him working on smithing stuff all night. The next thing we need to do is finish this up. Right now, our main campus is shattered and destroyed from, our favorite thing ever, trebuchets, and so we need to actually get this addressed. Currently, like I said, it is causing us issues in terms of rotting our... Oh, what's going on here? Yeah, so we have to rebuild the floor below it, of course. So anyway, it is rotting the weapons racks that we have sitting here, so it's kind of unfortunate. We are going to go ahead and get that addressed real quick. I think it's important, and I think in the long-term consideration of surviving, it is going to be useful to us. We will be able to access the rest of our weapons here. I'm not going to pretend that I knew that was going on. I just realized why they weren't auto-equipping these. I've been wondering, and I wasn't quite sure, but there's the answer, because this little row here was destroyed, so they should be able to get that taken care of pretty quickly. And then once we're done with that, we'll be able to finish the construction on the top layer, which will fully protect our building from future attacks. Or I guess not really future attacks, just rain. But rain is sort of an attack, I guess. It's an attack from nature. So let's go ahead and finish this real quick. So one of the other things I actually wanted to do too is pull up these old stick traps, though I don't think we have the resources to do it. Ultimately, what I'd like to do is put more of these metal traps like we have on this side, but we are going to have to produce some metal components. So let's go ahead and get that order out. The other smith is currently busy developing our, let's see, what are these called? Berdishas? Probably not at all pronouncing that correctly, but we'll go ahead and order. Let's do, let's start with 25. 25 seems like a good number. We should have plenty to do that, but in case we don't, let's go ahead and produce some iron ingot. We already have some there. Whoops. Let's go ahead and do 20 again. Oh, whoa, that's 110. We actually just want 20. Thank you. All right, so that order is done, and they should be working on it. I don't want to overwhelm them too much, but we should be okay. We are going to need to put doors in this, actually, which is going to require more metal components. Pretty much from here on out, we're using reinforced doors, unless for some aesthetic purpose we want to use one of the other doors. This is just in case somebody actually gets in. We can deal with it appropriately. So let's pop in here and get that done. And I am going to turn off trees. That should get us squared away on that front. And then as soon as we have the metal components, we'll be able to move on from there. Okay, and they've just about finished up the top of this. I'm not going to wait for them to get it completely done. That would take a little too long, but we do have things working over here. They're working on making mechanical components as well as our weapons. I do plan on focusing more on weapons in the future, but you'll notice that we have another issue that is quite pressing right now, and that is storage. We have a major storage issue right now, to the point where it is affecting our ability to retain food. So let's take a look at what's going on here under the hood. As we noted the last time we did a small storage expansion, there is going to be a significant amount of work that we need to do. And it's not going to be the most fun, but what I'm pretty much planning to do right now is just match this. This will end up being the center of the room. I've gone ahead and counted this. This is 7 across, so we really just need to bring this out by another 5. And that should make that total 7. So we're going to go ahead and do this like so. And we should be okay in terms of stability. Actually, let me cancel this. We don't want to do this too aggressively all at once, because I think, let's check our stability above real quick. So we're at stability 4. How about our roofs? Let me turn the roofs back on so I can take a look. Stability 4. Okay, so we'll actually be all right to go ahead and have them do this 5. Let's go ahead and have them work on it. It is going to provide us a lot of coal and clay. We don't need clay terribly much right now, but it's probably not the worst to have it. Like I said, when I was building off camera and shaping this edge over here, we had a significant amount of clay that was needed, and there is a hole here. I've got to resolve that. It's done the thing where there's a clay pile at the bottom, and they started building a clay wall, and now it's just kind of stuck in this in-between area. So they are currently working on mining this out, which is giving me some stuttering, I think. But once they're done with this, we'll be able to throw up some more beams, and then we'll start filling out with some more storage units. We really need to get these shelves up, and we've got the wood for it. We just need to increase our ability to maintain our food supply and stop leaving so much out to rot. We'll be in the same situation again before long, but I am seeing a decrease in the amount of food that we actually have on hand because they are using the food and replacing it with things like linen cloth and stuff like that. So we're really trying to avoid that situation in the future. So another note here, I did go ahead and have them start on building some more bows just to go ahead and get bows in everyone's hand. We have Oswald, Coinel, and Bernston. I think earlier I said Thaberga and Bernston were our new settlers, but actually Bernston's the one that we picked up at the beginning of the episode. So Aiden is actually our other one. And welcome, Aiden. I'm glad to start having some that have names I can pronounce. Harold is still probably the king of that. That's just such a great, strong name. So big fan. So anyway, let's take a look at how they're doing down below in the storage. You did notice that summer is here. That's going to be the next thing we tackle. So this looks good. So let's take a look at our management screen here and count how many of our settlers we have. So we have 15 settlers total, and almost all of them, I think all of them truly actually, have winter clothes. So the next big task that we need to tackle is we need to come over here and we need to cancel our winter clothes production, and we need to produce 15 summer clothes. That should help us with the upcoming summer. The off-screen work that I did took a year to complete in-game. Oh, what the heck? What happened here? Did we have a collapse because of stability? Is that what's going on here? That's unusual. It's not exactly... Oh yeah, look at that. See, that's what I was afraid of. So I need to stop them. This is not gonna work, because if they go one more, it's gonna collapse the stockpile. So let me actually run through here, and we're gonna run a cancel across here. And then I want to throw up some wooden beams like that. And then let's go ahead and cancel everything that's not building towards our beams here for now. And hopefully we can manage this at a little more, with a little more attention that it deserves. We've ordered our summer clothes. When I was playing off camera, I continue to have issues with the... Oh, I see what happened. This collapsed in the wooden beam that was there collapsed, perhaps? In any case, sorry, keep getting distracted. I had a tremendously difficult time dealing with all of the issues related to the summer heat waves. Whoa, we lost a lot. Oh, okay. Well, we can rebuild this. This is not the end of the world, so... Whoa. Really having a bad time here. Let's go ahead and make sure they're done. All right, let's pause. And I want to go ahead and put our beams up. Make sure that we have the support built back up that we need, because I don't want to have to do this again. So preferably we'll just be able to get this taken care of pretty quickly. So let's drop these guys in like that. And then we're going to grab our wooden wall and put it in place. We're also going to go up one more, and then we should be able to grab our wooden Merlin and put that like so. And then from there, let's see what it says about us putting this wooden floor in. Remember how I mentioned I'm always anxious about stability? This is exactly why. Because I roughly understand it, but I often make miscalculations about how well something is going to work. And I really would prefer not to be in a situation where we're losing food, so hopefully they can get this resolved pretty quickly. Oh, it looks like they maybe already built it. Let's give this autosave a second to clear. Yeah, they already got that hammered out. Wow, that was fast. Awesome. Okay. So that should resolve that issue for us. Hopefully in the future, we'll remember this. This is probably one of the last major upgrades I want to make to the storage facility in its current form, and we'll probably have to revisit what our strategy is on food storage in the future pretty soon. It just it's going to get out of hand again, and there's not much we can really do about it, so it's probably important to revisit that as quickly as possible. We have a ton of clothes down here. It's all winter clothes. We'll probably want to do something about that in the near future, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and grab our shelves. I forgot I can't drag them in a line. I have to actually place them. Whoops. So let's go ahead and do that. And then as soon as they've got, oh, it looks like, is this one finished or is it still under construction? No, that is done. Awesome. Okay, so now we should be able to come in here and do a little mining. Let's carve out this space like this, and that should give us roughly the space that we wanted. I'm curious why this didn't collapse. I must have done something differently here, but I can't remember what it was. So we'll work with what we got here, but we should have the stability at this point. It's stability 2. That shouldn't change because we've got these beams in place now. We'll find out in a minute, I guess. We are going to need to rebuild the roof as well. You know, this is probably a good thing because we have so many assets that are just kind of lingering out there in terms of resources that I'm not too terribly broken up about pulling the roof in. That's right. We had a beam here that the roof sat on. That's why it all collapsed. Okay, it's all coming together. I'm starting to remember why this happened. It's been so long since we built this part of the build that it's hard to remember what I was thinking at the time. We are going to get rid of this building at some point. It's kind of a old vestige of Wythenshawe when it was a little more primitive, but it is still necessary right now. So we'll go ahead and keep it in its place temporarily. So let's go ahead and put in our flooring here. Make sure that we have this space all covered. It looks like it's good, so we're gonna drop in our shelves next. Let's grab those, and we're just gonna bring those across like this. I am gonna lower it one more because it keeps grabbing from the floor above. I'm gonna put these down like so, and then we're gonna wanna copy the config. Oh no, we wanna keep it the way it is, the default. That's right. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is try and do a little infill here. We're trying to maximize our space as much as possible. I think this is probably the best way to do it. And then from here, we should be able to mirror it on this side like this. Make sure that it is logical. And there you can continue to come through there. Okay, and then we'll grab more shelves. And we'll run those this way like that. And it's not going to be even, and it's certainly not going to be pretty, but it does at least provide us a little more space to work with. We're going to grab our stockpile and we're going to expand the zone like this up to here. And that should finish the work. Let's make sure we're still doing okay upstairs. De-highlight that. And let's hide our roof. Yeah. So I think we're good here. Hopefully that didn't cause too many issues. It seems to be okay. So let's see how we're doing over here. We do have summer clothes. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go through and I want to manage their apparel. And I want to go through and set the summer apparel for, let's start with Noda, and she should go find the summer apparel. And then hopefully wherever she dropped her clothes. Let's see, where were you, Noda? Because I think it might set it automatically to not allowed, which is unfortunate. That's an unfortunate mechanic. I wish it would set it to allow automatically so that we didn't have to worry about the issues with the clothes just sitting out and deteriorating over time. I don't actually know where she threw them, so that's kind of weird, but hopefully she's clothed now. Let's see. Yep, flimsy linen summer clothes. So as she gets better, she'll be able to produce better clothes. Hopefully it won't be too much of an issue in the future. We'll probably want to relocate. We won't want to store our clothes in the same place that we store our weapons, just in case the issues come around with trebuchets again, like they already have. I don't want to lose the clothes. They're kind of a pain to make, so it probably makes sense to protect those a little better. So we'll probably need to reconsider how we're doing that in the future. We do have some reclaimed space over here that we can use. Over here is kind of dedicated to another purpose that I have in mind, but this space is unspoken for, since this was kind of a random spur of the moment thing that I was like, we should go ahead and do this. This makes sense. So in any case, while they're finishing prepping all of these different projects that we have, yes, these settlers are suffering from excessive heat. Yep, I know. It wasn't really the intention, but we're going to try and get you guys summer clothes this year. We are making them quite rapidly, which is good. I guess maybe as they suffer from different clothes, we should, let's see, where's Sinmund at? We can use Sinmund as a test because we already have one that's available. So let's, oh, where'd you go? There he is. Pause. And then I want to go to manage, and I'm going to come over here to Sinmund's apparel, and I'm going to set it to summer, and he's going to throw his on the ground. And yes, it automatically set it to do not allow, which is frustrating. Hopefully we can find Noda's clothes wherever she left those, because I don't really want those sitting out and deteriorating. Perhaps it's in the church? I know she was praying. Let's take a look real quick. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like that's where she left them. Oh well. We'll sort that out at some point in the near future. But for now, Sinmund should be able to swap over to his summer apparel. Okay, everything's looking really good. I think that pretty much leaves the last item on our agenda, and it's a pretty easy one. I want to go ahead and do the floors here. I realized while I was playing, you can see that I've already done one here, or tried to anyway. We're gonna have to do wooden beams here to support, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. We can handle it. So let's drop in a beam like that. We'll come up a floor and put it in the same, oh, we cannot put it in the same place. So maybe we need to cross it over here, but over there is a window. How do we want to handle this? We could put it like that. Yeah, that'll be fine. We'll just alternate it back and forth like this. That's really all we need to do. It's not that tall, so let's make sure we match this up on the other side. So we want it braced like that on this floor and like that on that floor. So the reason I want to do this is when we had a trebuchet issue on this side of the map, they kind of spawned in roughly over here. They were firing across and they were trying to hit the church, and the issue was that the church was sustaining damage, and I realized that we had no way to repair it, which is not good at all. So I went ahead and decided now is the time. We have to seize the day and go ahead and get our wooden floors in and finish these church floors off. What are you talking about? Is this not done yet? No, it's done. What's going on here? Did I miss a floor? Yes, I did. Whoops. All right, let's try to fix that real quick. Let's see. Wooden beam. Can I put one here? Yeah. All right. Well, that's an easy fix. So let's come over here and do the same thing. That way we're covered on both sides. And so anyway, they weren't able to actually repair the walls, which is going to be a major problem for us because we don't want issues in the future where we aren't able to repair the walls of the church as it's going to be attacked. It's inevitable that it's going to get attacked. It's designed somewhat like a defensive structure for the purposes of surviving assault. That's why we use limestone. But we just want to try and do everything we can to guarantee its success in the process. So we'll go ahead and put this down. And they should have that side done. And I think, let's see, did I miss one? One floor. It's the second floor. And then the first. Okay, so there's only 3 floors, 1, 2, 3, and then the roof. So that should cover everything that we need in terms of protecting the church a little better. I think obviously if we had limestone block, it'd be substantially better, but I don't know that I want to go through the whole process of rebuilding the church due to how much scaffolding we had. Maybe once we have the new architecture update that they're doing with all of the different new roof styles and things like that, we might consider building a new church, but we'll tackle that once we get to that point. But for now, this will do. So we should be producing summer clothes pretty quickly, and I think They should auto-equip it now, hopefully. Let's see. Has anyone done it? Winter, winter, winter. Well, we might have to look into that a little more. But for now, it looks like they should be good to go. And we're producing our metal components as well as our new weapons. How many metal components have we ended up with? 16? Oh, that's perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and do this one last little item here. I do want to come through and let's make sure we pick out 16. Ooh, that's a little much. Let's just do this manually, because I, as you know, struggle quite a bit with our deconstruct tool here. So that's 4, that's 8, that's 12, that's 16. So that should be able to just target the stick traps. Yep, that'll do it. All right. So we're gonna have them come through and replace those with metal traps as soon as they're done breaking them down, which shouldn't take very long. The metal traps are going to work like the wooden trap, where it kind of freezes the enemy. I think that's perfect. They destroyed the floor that's underneath too, which is not at all what I wanted. But let's go ahead and re-drag that over, and then we'll grab our metal traps and we'll do those as well. And then once that's done, that leaves only 2 more stick traps. We should have enough metal component for that just momentarily. So I may go ahead and just finish this up, let them tear down the final 2 stick traps, and then we'll put more metal traps in the place of those that are there. Of course, they're going to recover the sticks that we really don't need, but that's all right. You know, we might need them one day. Who's to say? Ideally, we'll continue to strip this back a little bit so we can continue to create this death alley here, the death bridge, as we've affectionately called it in the past. And the death bridge is really going to allow us to continue firing down from here and here. And that is going to give us a really good tactical advantage. At least I hope so, because I am so tired of not doing well. So I'm hoping that in the future we'll be able to knock this out pretty easily. It's saying that there's an exclamation point here, but I'm not sure. Oh, it's the floor underneath because we don't have any limestone. Okay, well, we can go ahead and knock this out here. We know that those are easily accessible, so it shouldn't be too much trouble for the settlers to be able to get over there and mine them. Hopefully it's not too terrible for them. So let me go ahead and let them get some of this done and caught up, and then we'll do our final review. Well, you know what they say about the best laid plans. We have a lot of people that are unconscious because we're in a heat wave, even though we were actively trying to get more summer clothes out for our settlers. So they're not quite finished with the wall here, but it's probably as good a time as any to go ahead and call it. So let's go ahead and review everything we did while everyone's falling unconscious and having a really bad time. Obviously, we ordered some more summer clothes. That was a really big detail that I feel like we're finally in a good position to start mass producing clothing. We need to figure out a storage solution for them and figure out how we can make sure that our settlers are going to equip winter clothes for winter and summer clothes for summer. So I'm going to do a little bit of homework on that and get back to you guys in the next episode. The other thing we did is generate some more weapons, both iron weapons, and used our new Boyer's table to produce some ranged weapons that we desperately needed. So I'm glad we got that knocked out. We also went ahead and generated some new mechanical components. The mechanical components enabled us to get some new traps out, really just upgrade Wythenshawe's defenses on the Death Bridge. So hopefully that's going to make a substantial difference. I think it will, at least being able to slow down enemies so we can fire at them from above. We added some on the backside as well in case they do get through. The other thing that we did, of course, was repair our main campus and destroy our main campus and repair it again. You know, it's fine. It's all good. It looks good. It's finished. It's done with, and we can just all pretend that you know, it was first try. So when we look down below, of course, we expanded our storage and it's already starting to fill up ridiculously fast. So hopefully in the future, we are able to get some of this cleaned up a little bit. I want to get this down to just food down here, which means we'll have to store linens and stuff like that in other places, but that will be another quest for another episode. For now, we have a substantial growth area here and have added our ability to store all sorts of stuff, so hopefully that'll prove useful for us in the future. And of course, our final thing that we did is get our gate upgraded. We finished the towers on the gate that I had worked on off screen, and I think it looks fantastic. I'm really pleased with how Wythenshawe has come together. Our wall is extremely impressive and looks really well built. I'm stoked for one. So that is going to be the end of today's episode. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a like. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, please consider subscribing. I do release 1 video a week. I'm almost in a rhythm to be able to start releasing 2 a week. So I'm very excited to bring you guys more content. And there's some other things that are coming down the pipeline here in the next few weeks that I think are going to be really exciting for you guys. So please consider subscribing and even hitting the notification bell. That way you guys can be notified when I release new content. So as everyone is falling unconscious, this was Games Over Explained, playing Going Medieval, and we'll see you next time.